I breezed through some questions that people had on Let's Go Help today. And there was one nice woman who I've been trying to help a lot, over the last weeks or so, and she's been successful. She got, I think, $1,000 or even more, but she is frustrated on how the system works. And that, wow, it's tough to come up and answer, and I guess that real question is, as the title I say here, when do you stop looking? When do you stop looking? I mean, something's there or might be something there. And it's really such a difficult question to answer. And I'm not the one to answer it for you because I'm biased. I make money out of making you believe that there may be money there, and it's certainly, as we see recently, all the people who are members that are getting money and help. But again, it's not 100%, and I'm not even sure what the real percentage is. I'm sure the percentage is nowhere near that. I see this as a tool in society. It's sort of like you have a toolbox to live. If you want to fix up your house or fix up your life, whatever, you go down to the basement. At least this is how I live. And there was a toolbox, got a hammer, a nail, and all this kind of stuff that you bring out and try to fix that toilet or try to add a room to your house or whatever. So if you have financial troubles, this again is just a tool in your toolbox that you may or may not need. And what you have to be careful with someone like me, that this is the only tool I talk about. So I'm like a lawyer, who says everything is a legal problem. Just pay me $500 an hour and I solve the problem because it's a legal problem. And that's a problem with somebody who specializes in something. They see everything on their that what their knowledge is or expertise is can solve every problem in the world. And that's obviously stupid. And I've been called stupid by other people, by some very important people, actually. But what frustrates me, I think, about this and encouraging people to hang in there a little longer, whether you use me or not. I'm not saying I'm the only source. I think the most important thing you can learn from me is that Google is only good sometimes. Okay, you don't want me to help you anymore. That's understandable, but to learn how to use the system. Right now, the internet and everything else in the internet, is on Google or something very similar. And we have to learn how to use that. And to me, the downfall of Google, again, if you heard me say, is that it's there to sell advertising. And that's what it's about. And the free stuff that you and I could use is not advertised, so you can't find them. So I think if you get anything out of, just read my videos or whatever. I mean, whether or not you get a free, a $10,000 grant or something. I mean, I can't promise that. Nobody can except the people handing out the money. But I think what you have to do is take from this or anything you see from me that what you see on Google are mostly coming from people who want to get money from you. And there's too much opportunities to get other ways to solve your problem. And that means not only other people that give away, what somebody else says you have to pay for, like a college degree. Well, you can get that for free, right? Or job training, become IT pro. You get that for free, but they're not going to advertise. So all you'll see are the companies and courses that want to charge you $10,000, $50,000 to do this. And the other thing about it is not only that there's options that may or may not work for you, but there are other ways to solve your problem. In other words, you have to start thinking, and that's why I think it's even good to go through the procedure of trying things that don't work for you, because then you get that stuff out of your head. Like my life will change if I have a BMW. Shit. You think it will because the advertisements say that. And you go into hock up to your keister and get that BMW, and you still got the same goddamn life, you know. And that's the problem, is that we create problems by people who are selling us something to say, if we just spend money on this, that your problem will be solved. And then you do that, and now you're in debt, or you have some other kind of financial problem, and you're going to the same people who created that problem for you being in debt or in financial trouble, and trying to use the same people to get out of it. And that's it. So I think a lot of it is trying to think of other ways, trying to be creative and think of another way to see where you are to solve the problem in a different way. And particularly, it doesn't cost money. I mean, as a nation, we do that. We think, oh, we have a problem and we'll just throw money at it. Well, no, we're all wiser than that. But we do that with our own life. Oh, I need $100,000 to start a business. Fine, that may be true, but there are options. There are other ways to do that without having that $100,000. But you have to get there in that belief. So sometimes that means you have to get that stupid stuff out of your head. And the only way maybe to get that stupid stuff out of your head is by going and failing and trying to do it. So that's why, to me, even when I started businesses in the past, I would do a business plan, and this makes sense, how to make money, and show it to experts and all this kind of stuff, and it would fail. But see, having that stupid plan, I didn't think it was stupid. Nobody else said it was stupid at the beginning. But it turned out to be stupid. But that is the only time, I had to go through that in order to get into something that, that somehow that was covering my eyes to seeing something easier to do, and that didn't cost money, and to be able to do it that way, And sometimes the only way to get there into the real good stuff that works. Oh, Naima, you're so sweet. She gave me a tip by that because I'm busy as hell and I want to have lunch with her. So you have to go through that. And that's why even bad times. I always felt sometimes I always wanted a business. And I didn't care what, and I got an MBA and I had 2 businesses that failed and everything. But then when I had a business that was going well, I got a little bored, And what I saw myself doing was trying to make it screw up so I could stretch myself, and I think that's what bad times are. How good are you? And that's what happens, I think, in our country. When we go through bad times, it brings out better stuff in us. So that's why, if you're looking for something and it doesn't work, you're trying to get that $100,000 job and that doesn't work. Well, that's really an opportunity, to find out what you really should be looking at. Because, see, that's what I feel, that you go out and try stuff, that gives you more knowledge than any expert, me or anybody else, that can give you, because it's the world telling you, no, don't do that, you dumb shit. That's the only way we're going to learn it. I remember as a kid, and actually I'm going to have a Zoom call with a kid from high school. I probably saw 3 times in the last 50 years. But I remember, I wasn't a jock or anything. And we played Saturday football, and I wasn't good footballer or anything, right? And I remember going to tackle him because he was a good athlete. And I said, I'll just go down and tackle him by the legs so he goes down. Well, he knew enough that to use his legs, bring his knees way up, so in case I came in to tackle him, I get hit by his knees. And that's what happened. And I got hit in the jaw so badly. I have to tell him that story today, or tomorrow when we have the Zoom call. But that taught me. That's the only way you're going to learn we have this idea in our mind about life, what life should be, and it's unfair to me. Yeah, whatever. Oh, unfair, fair, whatever. It is. what it is, and you have to use what it is. And I think, the injustice or whatever, I mean, the best we could do is, sure, we can, right now be political and do whatever it is policy-wise to get the policies changing. But I think an important thing is to, lead our own life the way we think is the right way, even though everybody else out there is an asshole. You don't have to be one. And you could suck it up. And really that gives you courage, I think, to go through life better. and having failures and not getting what you want out of what you think is there or should be there for you. Well, it may or may not be. And if it isn't, you have two options. You try somewhere else, think of a different strategy, or go and lobby Congress and get a lot changed for yourself. That's what the rich people do. And so everything is an option and a maybe in life, And I see the hurt that people go through sometimes, thinking that there is, this one program is going to solve all their life problems or whatever. And it's just, I'm just teaching you to use a hammer, and the hammer may or may not work for you, but now you know how to use it, and you use it for whatever kind of life you want to build for the rest of your life. There's lots of ways to get through this nonsense that we all have to get through. This may help you, but see, to me, I think it's important because it's a third of everything in our economy. Look at all the fat cats. And, it's funny, I saw a report last night, looking at all these conservative think tanks that, are against any increase in any government spending. They all took government money from the PPP. I mean, the people who spend billions of dollars trying to get Congress not to have any government program that gives away money, they stand in line to give away money. To get that money, and they all got it. So we're all hypocrites. And it's a beautiful park. This is in between. The Lincoln Memorial is up on that side, and down here is the Washington Monument and the World War II Memorial. And there's a reflecting pool in the beginning. If you've seen like Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, all the people were lined up around there, and then he would speak at the Lincoln Memorial up there. So it's a very famous place, and that's why I feel so spoiled that I'm able to use all this stuff in Washington that you pay for it. And it's my public park. And I'm able to do it. So I'm sorry it's so hard. And I think that's what, there's one thing that keeps in mind, I always have in mind. My wife had an aunt who lived to be 95 or something like that. And they were going up to her nursing home. And she was sitting in this little room and looking out. And she was saying, oh, just looking out the window is such a joy. Seeing the leaves and seeing, she was so optimistic and happy and everything, and saying how wonderful everything is. And I said to her, wow, how do you feel that way? I mean, you have a hard time breathing, talking, eating, and everything. How do you feel that way about life being so great? And she looked me right in the eyes. Oh yeah, life is brutal. So all this have a nice day shit and everything that we all say to each other, this 95-year-old woman just looks me right in the eye and says, yeah, no matter what I say, man, life is brutal. That's what we got to prepare for. Don't prepare for happiness. That's easy. You don't have to worry about that. You can handle that. It's all the brutal stuff. How are you going to handle that? And that, to me, as I get older, they're the parts that make you grow. They're the parts that are really, in retrospect, not when you're going through them, man, it's terrible. But in retrospect, they're the stories, the things that create your character and everything like that. So get out there and start living a brutal life.